Okay, this is a regular meeting of the Spotswood Borough Council for March 16, 2015. The notice requirements provided in the Open Public Meetings Act have been satisfied. Notice of the meeting was properly given in the new schedule of meetings of the Spotswood Borough Council on January 1st, 2015. The new schedule was transmitted to the Home News Tribune and Sentinel. It was filed with the clerk of the Borough of Spotswood and posted in the municipal building located at 77 Summerhill Road, Spotswood, New Jersey. In a second, I'm going to have you rise for a salute to the flag and a moment of silence. But first, I want to read who we're thinking about in a moment of silence, because unfortunately, we have several. The family of Patricia Pacina. Patrick. Say it again? Patrick. I'm sorry, Patrick Pacina. Was more worried about the last name. Former DPW director here, unfortunately, they lost their mom, Irene Pacina. The family of Casey Manzo, who's the mayor's secretary, lost their grandmother, Susan Manzo. And finally, thankfully, Sergeant Brian Keenan, retired here from the Spotswood Police Department, is involved in a very serious motor vehicle accident and is currently in the hospital. So if we can keep them in our thoughts.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Councilman Stolen?
Here.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Here.
Councilman Seeley?
Here.
Councilman Ritchie?
Here.
Council President Lasacco?
Here.
Mayor Policino?
Mayor Policino is still laid up with his injury. He's actually appointed me acting mayor until the end of the month.
Okay.
We have a set of minutes, February 2nd, 2015, regular minutes.
Make a motion to accept the minutes?
Second. Oh, sorry.
Councilman Stolen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Council President Lasacco?
Yes.
We have another set of minutes, February 18th, 2015, regular council minutes.
Make a motion to pass the minutes. Second.
Councilman Stolen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Abstain.
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
I wasn't here, so I'll abstain on that also.
Council President Lasacco?
Yes.
We have resolutions under the consent agenda. Council President and council members, I'll take a motion to accept the resolutions on consent agenda. Resolutions 2015-52 through 2015-63.
Motion to accept the resolutions under the consent agenda, 2015-52 through 2015-63.
Second.
Councilman Stolen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rhodes?
Yes.
Councilman Seeley?
Yes.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Council President Lasacco?
Yes. Okay, we have two proclamations that Councilwoman Rhodes will read into the record.
And it's my pleasure to do that because I actually attended Olivia Fantelli's 100th birthday celebration at the Senior Center this past Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm trying to pull up on my phone a picture of Olivia. She was a queen. They had a crown for her, and I'm going to pass it around to the group so they can all see her. I actually printed out pictures of her to bring for you guys to see her, and I left them on my workstation. So, God willing, we should all reach 100 years old. And you have to think, she was born on March 13th, 1915. What she has lived through in her life is just amazing when you think back, because cars were just starting to be on the roads then. And for her to live now to this, we're having cars driving themselves now. So it's amazing. So whereas Olivia Fantelli was born to Louis and Madalena Fantelli on March 13th, 1915 in Loretto, Michigan. Her family moved to New Jersey in 1919, and she had been a resident of Clearwater Village since 1990. And whereas Olivia as she is known by all her friends, graduated from St. Peter's High School in New Brunswick, New Jersey in 1933. After graduating, she worked as a skilled seamstress for over 40 years and was a proud member of the International Ladies Garment Workers Union until retiring in 1980. And whereas Livia is an active member of the Spotswood Senior Center, making items for its craft sales and participating in many other activities. She was instrumental in starting the Plastic Canvas Group at the local firehouse and seeing that it continued at the Senior Center. This group is still in existence today. She has also donated her time making items for several churches in our community. At the beginning of Spotswood's 100th anniversary celebrations, Livia was named as one of the oldest living residents of the borough. And whereas on this day, March 12, 2015, we are gathered here to pay tribute and honor to Olivia Fantelli in celebrating her 100th birthday, now therefore be it proclaimed that I, Nicholas Policino, Mayor of the Borough of Spotswood, do hereby tender to Olivia Fantelli this proclamation of public recognition, extending her sincere best wishes on the occasion of her 100th birthday. Further, we wish her much health and happiness in all her future endeavors. And I got to tell you, she was so happy to get this. We also received a proclamation from the legislature, the New Jersey legislature. They were, that had a lot fancier language, but it was, longer legal document, and it was just a beautiful thing. And she felt like a queen. We had lunch and cake and balloons, and she's wearing a crown in this picture, a birthday crown. And we should all have such a good birthday, even if we weren't 100. It was a wonderful birthday party. So thanks to Dawn and the Senior Center, the Office on Aging, Janine Belaz, the director, for organizing that for her. And thank you to former Mayor Zagnit was there, the Reverend Joseph Woods was there, and actually Donna Falkenberry, who was with Olivia for her 95th birthday. Donna worked in our senior center at that occasion. She came back to help her celebrate her 100th. So we already put the date down for the 105th party, and I would like to invite you all in advance for that. The next is a proclamation for Nutrition Month. Whereas food is the substance by which life is sustained, and whereas the type, quality, and amount of food that individuals consume each day plays a vital role in their overall health and physical fitness, and whereas there is a need for continuing nutrition education and a wide-scale effort to enhance healthy eating practices. Now, therefore, I, Nicholas Policino, Mayor of the Borough of Spotswood, do recognize the month of March, National Nutrition Month in Spotswood, New Jersey. I encourage all citizens to join the campaign and become concerned about their nutrition and the nutrition of others in the hope of achieving optimal health for both today and tomorrow. And that's dated March 16, 2015. So it's a good thing.
Yep, very good. Councilman Stolen.
I wanted to thank Donna Falkenberry for telling us about Shrek the Musical. I was fortunate to attend this week, and I really have to give a congratulations to the Spotswood High School troopers and their teacher advisors. I mean, everything from the sets, the lights, the sound, the actors and their voices singing, and even had an orchestra. It was really, really a special evening, and you could sit on a steel seat, and you still were comfortable because it went so fast. So it was a fun night. Absolutely, congratulations to them. And if I could, I wanted to ask Dawn a question, if you could. Can you give us an idea of what the situation is at the George Street water plant? How that structure is? I mean, is the roof leaking on that, or?
Yes, it's very damp in there. That's actually where all the old water meters are stored. That's the only thing that's there as of right now.
I mean, I don't know that that's ever going to be a water producing facility again, but we might want to look at just protecting the structure for whatever it could be used for. Maybe fire department would use it at some point. So maybe we have to look at making sure that that's not rotting away while we're not using it.
There's leaks coming
There
out.
are leaks. I mean, it doesn't take long for
There
them.
were before,
Yes.
so that's why I'm able to say that.
Yeah.
Even right after Irene or right before Irene, there were leaks, so.
We're visiting EMS on Wednesday, and EMS is a treat compared to going to George Street. I will tell you that much.
So, I mean, that's something maybe we have to get some ideas on, because the structure should be protected, at least for whatever we might use it for in the future. Just a thought. Okay,
Good thought.
that's it, thank you.
South and Central Flood Commission, I am the appointee from the council along with the mayor to attend those meetings. I understand a resident came up to the podium while I was out at that meeting on vacation. I did send an email to the John Palomino, is the business administrator for the county, asking about that commission. That is a separate commission, I believe, from the water program, the water meetings that she was talking about. Dawn, correct me, right? That
I believe
was
she referenced both.
both, okay. So South Central is not meeting, as far as I know. I have not been extended any invitation by the county to rejoin those meetings. I know that they had been in hiatus for the last probably 2 years or more, that they have not had a meeting. So I did reach out to the county, have not gotten a return reply yet, but I will pursue that because it is important to look at the region and doing our water planning. So I wanted the public to know that. I want to congratulate Frank for getting us all together for a meeting that's coming up, and I'll let him talk about it, about the EMS this coming Wednesday. I have 2 questions. One is for Dawn, the clothing dumpster that's sitting there by the tracks next to Jersey Pride. Why is it just dumped in the middle of the lot? And who owns that, if you know or not?
I believe they would have to file a permit if they wanted to have it in town, and we can certainly look at those records.
Yeah,
and
it's
find out.
just sitting right in the middle of the lot, all by itself. It's a clothing dumpster, and it really looks like an eyesore, especially considering everything down there. And Kurt, for you, Spotswood Pharmacy, is there anything going in there? I heard some rumblings that there might be.
Well, there's been nothing, no applications made to planning, and there would not be if it's just a remodel. So
Okay.
that would not come to the planning board unless they needed a whole site plan or something.
Okay.
I can
Well,
actually
have
give you a
not-
little insight on that.
Sure.
I actually saw Preston tonight, who used to work there when it was Spotswood Pharmacy. He said they're looking into doing something with a small medical practice with an on-site pharmacy. That's the direction it's heading in.
Okay.
I had heard something about a pharmacy as well, so.
Can I jump in? It's supposed to be Texas Road Pharmacy that bought it. I mean, I called them personally when I heard that at their Applegarth location, and they did verify that Texas Road Pharmacy would be open the location there.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Okay. That's it for me. Thank you,
Okay.
Frank.
Councilman Seeley?
Well, we're starting our planning for the parade this year. The invitations are going out at the end of this month. I'll be talking to Casey tomorrow about fundraising. Probably sometime mid-April, I'll be recruiting some extra help. We can try and make this as a big one this year, make it a real good one. And if anybody has any ideas, please forward them to me.
I think Jimmy's son had some, right?
Yeah, he said he would like to assist, and so did the fire department. They said they'd enjoy jumping right in there. And on that, if I can just curve just a little bit for a second for
Sure.
public interest. Jose, did you just come from that accent?
Yeah,
Is that everything okay there? Or? Yeah.
we got both.
Okay. Nobody got seriously hurt, did they?
EMS total.
Okay.
Yeah,
3 cars, right?
great.
Yeah. I think I got out of your way, drove up on the grass and into the sidewalk, and
Thank you.
that's it for me.
Okay. Councilman Ritchie?
Other than to say, that the Borough Public Works people have been doing a fine job with all the crummy weather we've been having. That's really about it. Recreation has a couple things on the burner, but nothing is set yet. We're still looking to see if we're going to do a spring trip, plus the fall trip. That's it.
Good. Well, I was going to report on Shrek. I still will. I absolutely agree. I went with my family on Sunday, and you know, it's pretty neat to see the depth of talent. These are high school students, but, you know, they all did a good job. I don't want to point out any one, although I will just in a second. The Donkey and Shrek, who were the main, amongst other people, were just phenomenal. It was a lot of fun.
Man.
Gingerbread Man was funny. I mean, everything about it was great, so I applaud them. Great job. It's good to see. SYBL is starting. The registrations are closed. We're having a practice inside at the high school tonight, so it's good to see the kids up and running again and getting started. Actually, we had an impromptu board meeting, and SYBL is now becoming, and no jokes from the dais, SYBSL, to include softball in the title because we've inherited them. So it's great to see everyone and both see the girls doing softball on one side of the gym and the boys on the other, so that seems to be going good. Opening day is April 25th, so feel free to come down. I'm sure there will be tables and different things to do, but it's neat to see that. And then lastly, the EMS building meeting. I promised that we would get it hammered out by the end of the week at the last council meeting, and I have to thank, as I often do, Dawn for helping me out greatly on this. We've narrowed it down to a date. It is this Wednesday, is in 2 days from today, which would be March 18th. It'll be 7 p.m. And it's going to be a good, productive meeting. I'm quite confident that we're going to be able to move forward on that. So it's an issue that we've been wanting to move forward on a more rapid pace, and we're going to do that. So that's good. And it is an absolute public meeting, yeah. I'm glad that is an open public meeting, so, what's that?
7 o'clock?
7 p.m. on the 18th. So by all means, come on out, because that'll be, we'd love to hear from the public like we always do.
One last thing.
Absolutely.
Spotswood Education Foundation had their casino night, not this past Saturday, the Saturday before. And I want to thank everyone who came out, who donated a prize, who donated anything to the event. It was very successful. We had a great time and a great turnout, and I won the grill. So it was really wonderful.
So after the
Barbecue at Marge's house.
so after the summer meetings, it'll be out in the parking lot.
I told you, anytime. Anytime.
We'll bring the hot dog, you bring the grill.
Done.
Okay, a few things. At our last couple meetings, we had discussions about going green for the DPW spring and fall flyers. I wanted to know if there had been any consensus on that yet.
Last time we spoke, I think Marge was going to talk to the senior center. And
Yeah, and I didn't. Forgot all about it when I was out there this week. You know what? If we have a way to put a message on there, on the bill, a public message, then I don't see a reason why, you know, we would need a separate thing, a separate.
I mean, maybe the first message can be that if, you know, to pick up your seasonal flyer, they'll be at the library, they'll be at the senior center, they'll be at the tax to pay window, and that way we.
And post it on the website.
A website, absolutely.
Right.
And it can also be in the senior bulletin.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll have copies available at the tax window,
Right.
Office on Aging,
And the senior
et cetera.
club bulletin too. Good.
Okay, so we'll go forward with that.
Yeah.
Second thing is, on that same note, next billing for utility bills, which is March 31st, we're no longer going to be using the postcards. It's going to be a bigger mailer with the perforated sides. It's going to have more information in it, and it's also going to have the ability to put messages, such as the one that we just mentioned, in it. We had received a lot of complaints that the postcards were getting lost in the junk mail, in the magazines. And in addition, we were notified by Kilmer in Edison that it could possibly take up to 10 days to get the postcards mailed going forward. And we did not think that would be prudent when you have a due date to get the bills paid to the borough. So we switched to the new mailer. Next thing is the public hearing on the budget is our next meeting, April 8th. The state has already reviewed our budget. I can't believe it, very early this year. And it appears we're going to be able to adopt right away on the 8th. And last but not least, MCIA, who provides our recycling services in the borough, has awarded a new 3-year contract to Central Jersey Waste and Recycling. It's going to be effective Monday, March 30th. The only changes are going to be that they're going to single stream collection, which means you could put everything in one container if you like. If you prefer, you can still continue to put out in separate containers. It's up to you. And the other service that they're no longer providing is textile pickup, curbside. We will still have the textile dumpsters at the drop-off site.
Textiles meaning furniture.
Clothing.
Okay.
Clothing. I don't know
That
how
gets
many
rid of your
people,
clothing bin.
I don't know how many people took advantage of that anyway, but
No, I think everybody usually donates, right?
exactly.
There used to be Dare clothing bins, weren't there?
Those are the ones that are at the drop-off site,
Okay,
and that goes to our community policing.
right. But that's not the one that Marge was talking about, right? That's not affiliated?
No. That's a private one.
Yeah.
I have a question for Dawn also. Dawn, we're still going to plan on going into the building before the meeting?
Yes.
Okay. 6 o'clock?
Public Works is going to air out the building during the day, and I'll be there from 5:30 till about 6:15, as will Bruce and the architect and the director.
And for clarity, based on the condition of the building, it's for members of the Borough Council, not an
Yes.
open house to the
Yes.
public.
And will the mayor be able to attend this meeting?
No, as I stated before, he's still out of commission due to his injury, and he's appointed me acting mayor till the end of the
Because I know we
month.
had moved it to that date because that was the day he could make.
Yep, that is true.
Okay. All right.
Dawn, will you have masks? I'm just hesitant about.
I'll bring you a mask,
entering.
March.
Okay, yeah, I'm very hesitant about going into that building without it being
Batman?
aired out for a long
Yeah.
time or having fans going.
You prefer Robin?
Huh?
Batman or Robin?
Okay,
Catwoman.
motion for the public.
I'll make a motion to open to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This is an open public portion of our regular meeting, so you can speak about anything you'd like to.
Harry Dunn, 58 Outwell Avenue. I know a lot of people weren't able to attend council meetings due to the bad weather and everything, but if each of you could comment on this, I would really appreciate it, because I sincerely don't understand it.
Excuse me.
I wouldn't know the mayor if he walked in the door. I haven't seen him anywhere, anything. I don't know what kind of injury he has now, but prior to the injury, I never saw him. Like I said, I really wouldn't know what he looked like if he walked in the room now. And if he's not going to be attending meetings, maybe we should have a special election to appoint a new mayor.
What are you, okay?
Go ahead.
What are you looking at from us? Because really, to make any type of statement at all on anyone that is injured or out of work ill, it's just not a good idea. I mean, the mayor has been injured, legitimately. And
I was a trauma case from October to January 1st. And I made it where I could be. And there was more, the trauma that I went through, I mean, I just don't understand.
You're a strong woman.
Yeah, but also, just like Councilman Seeley said, the mayor's obligation is to make sure that the meeting's attended by someone from his administration, and he did do that. He appointed Dawn as the
Only
acting.
right now, only today. And you sit here and you listen, he appointed this, he did this, he did that, he did that, he did this, he did that. Well, how could he do all this, and he's never even present? How does he appoint something or finalize something or approve something? Where does he get all his facts and figures and everything with? I mean, they're sent to his house. I don't think that's a fair thing.
Well, as a part-time mayor of a borough of this size, it's your obligation to stay in close contact with the professionals you have doing that. Dawn is a full-time business administrator, has proven herself time and time again to be exceedingly capable. He leans a lot on Dawn to do that, from what I understand, and as well as the professionals, talking to the engineers. So, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes work that does get accomplished, from my understanding. And, we're sorry to see that he's hurt. We hope he's well. But in the meantime...
What was his injury?
Well, that's not for us to share, I don't
Yeah,
think.
I'm not sure that we can comment on it, only,
Yeah, but, she was just appointed now. I mean, what happened in previous months? I mean, this is...
Actually, by borough ordinance, the business administrator is automatically the acting mayor in his absence.
yeah.
So,
For 60 days.
I don't know. I just don't really think it's acceptable. I really don't.
Okay.
But, let's see, what else do I guess that's it. You can't comment on it. He's not here. He's never here. And like I said, I wouldn't know what he looked like if he came in the room.
I understand.
And I don't think that's right. I really don't. Everybody has the, to be absent. You can't attend, 30 meetings a year. Not everybody can do that, and
Well,
I wouldn't expect it.
Unfortunately, I don't think he would have expected to be injured himself, so, in his
But
defense.
this is this week injured. I'm talking about 30 weeks prior to this.
I don't know how you expect us to comment on it.
And we shouldn't.
I don't know, maybe a letter to the editor. That would get some answers.
Terry, you do what you need to do. I think you've expressed your concerns, and I think Dawn is here as his representative, and she'll talk to him, and perhaps if you want to be reached out to by the mayor, we can arrange, Dawn will talk to him about that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Frank Cardation. I want to get back to that dental policy. I don't know if you answered this question before. What's the cost for the next 2 years?
it's laid out in the resolution.
Well, I don't have the resolution. You have it in front of you, just tell me the number.
52, Frank? It's, per employee, it's $42.34. Additional, per two-party is $93.79.
That was revised.
Strike that, Frank.
All right. So you just give me you don't have to give me the individual rates. What's the total cost for a year or 2 years?
The total cost is not listed.
It's not listed. Do you know what it is, Don?
For 1 year, it's $53,042 at the new cost.
That's what the new cost? One year. Now, you said there was a 9% saving?
Yes.
Okay. As far as I know, insurance companies are a for-profit organization. When they give you a 9% discount, there's a reason. What is the reason? How can they give us the discount? You know why? I'm asking you.
They want our business.
We shopped it, it's a different company.
Yeah, we went with a different company. We had been with Bollinger for probably, 12 to 15 years, Pat? We were with them for a very long time.
And were the benefits still the same?
Yes,
They were.
yes,
Deductibles, co-pays, they're all the same?
yes. We're required to do that for all our union contracts.
Okay,
We
that's
actually
fine.
had
I'm not
to-
complaining. I'm just wondering, where are they coming up with a 9% discount?
It's just a different company.
There's one good thing about this part of health insurance. When it's not a mandatory insurance, then you can shop it and there's competition.
Yeah,
Where,
well, I think you should shop it,
yes.
whether it's mandatory or not. That's for the benefit of the township.
Sure.
And Blue Cross Blue Shield is so large, Frank.
I know
They
that.
covered li-
I've
they're covered
negotiated with them for
life
30
for
years. I know. And I'm not complaining about the company. I've used them for business and personal for years, and they're a good company. There's nothing wrong with that. But I know when it comes to coming up with costs, they're tight, and you got to be very, very aggressive. And hopefully you were aggressive and you forced them to reduce it, I hope. Because, dental is one of the smaller parts of medical coverage. And that's usually like a slam dunk type of thing, they just throw that in. So you don't know why they reduced it. I'm glad you do when I say
I would
congratulations.
think they wanted our business.
Yeah, but again, Frank,
No.
again, I just want to reiterate,
Yeah.
it's a different company, so they didn't just reduce it. It was just a different company giving a different price.
But you know what they do? They get all the records from the previous insurance companies, they say what all the claims are, and then they make a proposal based on what they find out. And, if the proposals are minimal, they'll say, all right, we'll take a chance, we'll give them a reduction, maybe just to get the business. Okay, that's always a possibility.
They're able to obtain the claims experience before they quote.
Yeah, I know that. You have to do that, otherwise they're doing it in the dark.
Right.
Okay, so and you didn't change any of the benefits.
No,
Usually copay and deductibles are the two areas they go after.
Right.
equal to or better than.
That's the,
That's good. I mean, I'm saying that's good for our people and the people that are benefiting by that.
Right.
But I'm just always a little suspicious when you can't zero in on, tell us why you're reducing it. If it's to gain a business, okay, I'll accept that, but that's too easy. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
oh, good.
And glad to see you back.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Anything on Spotswood, Cheryl?
Cheryl Bass, 289 Main Street. On the National Nutrition Month, are there other municipalities that are having National Nutrition Month in March?
The whole nation has National Nutrition Month month in March.
Okay.
And so at the hospital, we're having daily nutrition tips mailed out to all the employees about how to eat healthier and better, make better choices.
Okay, because I know that the latest stuff with the dietary programs is everybody should cut down on red meat, that they're looking to cut back with cattle production and slaughtering of cattle and meat in the markets. Meat is already sky high, and with fewer cattle and they're going to put cattle ranches out of business. This is what it's all leading to. Who devised what these new dietary standards are? Where does this all come from?
The federal government. They have the CDC has a whole website devoted to eating healthy and nutrition. And we use it a lot at the hospital to teach patients and to teach individuals in the community about nutrition. So they offer a lot of tools to the healthcare professionals.
Okay, because the farmers, the cattle ranches, this is very disruptive to their normal way of earning a living and having the farms continue, the ranches continue. This is a very disruptive. Okay.
We don't have any cattle ranches here in
I don't think
Spotswood,
so.
right? Okay.
Well, still in all. Still in all. We have relatives.
Yeah, we sure do.
We sure, that's right. Okay. Resolution 2015-54. It seems as though with the municipal budget, the column from and to looks as though everything is being doubled. Is there an explanation for why the numbers, salaries and wages, other expenses going from and to, it looks as though everything is being doubled?
It is, and the reason being is, at the beginning of the year, before you pass a budget, you give a small percentage of what the proposed budget is to fill in the gap so you can legally pay your people. And then, when you get close to that expiring, you add it again. So this is just to cover the gap. It's not gonna change the budget, because the budget is gonna be X amount of dollars. This is only a little bit, it was even smaller. And then eventually, when we pass the budget, it'll be the full allotment to cover it.
Then the percentages or the number of months involved should have been explained, because if it's going from a small number of months to fill an entire gap, then the total number of months or the percentage going from half a year to a full year, that needed to be explained, because it would appear as though the numbers are for the same time period.
Want to comment on?
As Council President said, it's only the temporary budget to get you through so that you can pay your bills and your employees until the permanent budget is adopted,
I think-
which we're 2 weeks away from.
Yeah.
And it's routine to do all of the accounts. I can tell you the majority of this was for snow removal costs and water main breaks. So,
And it's to free up the monies that ultimately are going to be there, and I think it's done statutorily. So it's only a certain percentage at a certain period of time, and then you release another percentage at a certain time, and that's what we're doing. And the language is actually fairly standard across the board. So I hear what you're saying, but this language is the same language that's usually adopted, probably more often, but where the budget is actually moving through pretty quickly this year. So there might have even been a third or a second extension in the past, whereas I don't know that we're going to need that.
Are the totals expected amounts that were expected to be paid, or do we have to go to the bond market to look to raise more money, borrow more money, or are these anticipated expenditures, the totals?
All money included in our regular operating budget. There's no bonding involved for it.
Okay, because usually, as I always like to talk about Detroit, this time Chicago. Chicago's bond rating was reduced from Baa1 down to Baa2. And that was done by Moody's. There's going to be a runoff election in Chicago in April.
We're good here.
So I just wanted to make sure that all these monies are anticipated. Okay. And let me see what else. Resolution 2015-59. I know that the people from Manalapan Road, Marlborough Road, Red Bank Road, is this part of the same problem that they have come before the council to talk about with sewage, with the water being drained? Because they were here maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, something like that. Is this part of that same problem? And has the money involved, which looks like a $6,000 increase, approximately $6,000, which would be practically a 1/3 percent increase in the monies needed to correct this problem that you need engineering. Has the problem deteriorated that now more money is needed to correct the problem? So Resolution 2015-59.
Bruce?
Yes, this has nothing to do with the work that the residents approached the governing body about. These are for sewage pump stations that serve not the entire municipality, but any area of the borough that is a lower lying area and must have its wastewater that comes from the homes and businesses pumped up in order to get into the gravity system. So this is the sanitary sewer system and lift stations. So they happen to be located on these roads, and that is how they're identified. But this is not the work that the residents asked for in terms of the roadway paving and the potholes and things of that.
Okay. Okay. That takes care of everything.
Thank you very much, Cheryl. Good to see you again.
Yes.
How are you, sir?
Dan Riley, Red Bank Road. I came to ask about see if I can get an update on the paving and potholes and drainage of Red Bank Road and the surrounding streets.
That's a very fair question. Do you want to,
Bruce?
We're currently working on a grant, a USDA grant. Stop me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am at all at this. To improve that entire area, as well as sewer, water pipelines, paving, the whole 9 yards, as well as a water tower on the other end of town. And we're in the beginning processes of that right now.
In a time frame?
That would be a stretch for me. I mean, I can't tell how fast the government works. That wouldn't be our government, that would be the entire government.
I mean,
how about Bruce, do you have any idea?
We've been at this for better than a year. You guys
Yes,
are out there.
absolutely, and I went out immediately and looked at it. And then the governing body asked me to put together a cost estimate for them, and I gave them an order of magnitude, I believe, of around $2 million to take care of all of the improvements that I thought should be addressed out there. It does not include sidewalks, but it's curbs, roadway pavement, sanitary sewer repairs, upgrade the water system, and install storm sewers. Then the decision was made to pursue the USDA grant because the borough could qualify for that. We've been somewhat pre-qualified. The borough administrator, myself, and the borough auditor have been filling out or working together to fill out pre-qualification or qualification forms. And then once that takes place, which could happen in the next month or two, then they will invite us to make an application to submit for a grant. And sometimes there's loans with sometimes a grant. So if the funding was to take place maybe by the fall, if we were successful, then the work would be designed, and I would say optimistically, spring next year. But as the councilman said, we are dealing with a grant application, and I've worked with this agency before, and they're wonderful, and they're very helpful, and they move things along quickly, but there is still a process for it. But that is what we have done to date.
So what you're telling me is best case scenario is spring next year, and it may not happen then.
It's hard, I can't, I'm reluctant to give you any kind of a firmer timeframe, not knowing how the process will go, and even if we'll become qualified, although they have told us that the criteria.
What do we do if we don't get a grant?
We have a decision to make as far as going to bond.
We'd have to make a decision on whether we're going to spend the money.
And Dan, the problem is what you see there is a completely destroyed road that needs to be repaved. But when you see that and you say, well, repave my road, well, the problem is there's no storm source and it's a flat area. If we were to repave it, it would just become destroyed again shortly because all the water that goes under it and then freezes. You also have sewer line problems and water line problems. So it is a big project. We did a project similar to that on Wyoming, and it took years to get it together to do and coordinate all of those things. It needs to be done. I think it will be done, but just how quickly is going to be trying everyone's patience, because you are in a terrible situation with the way that road is there. Absolutely.
Well, it's been gone on for too long.
Absolutely.
I mean, the last time those roads were paved, I was 17. So.
Well, you look so young.
Geez, thanks, Marge.
But I think we all recognize, Dan, that it is just not acceptable. And this was, we're paying the professionals to really work on this application because we're hoping to get that in, to get the monies to do it. And I think if we don't, then we're going to go to Plan B, and that will be, I think, but you have a majority of us on this council that realize how terrible that situation is down there. And
well, you have to understand, too, that, on my side of it, telling me 2 years down the road is really not an acceptable answer to that.
Even if we did not do the grant application, it would still be 2 years, Dan, because there's so much that goes into a project that encompasses the water and the sewer.
It would be irresponsible to give you an answer other than that, because that's the truth. I mean, it really is. It's going to take that time, and we're going to push as hard as we can, but it may take that time.
I mean, we started Wyoming. We started that while Barry Zagnut was mayor.
Don't tell him that.
But there was other
it's the truth.
complications involved in that one. That one was no grant. This one, we're working on something that we're confident we got a good shot at.
Well, I would hope so.
Cautiously optimistic.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for your patience. We understand. Seeing nobody else.
Make a motion to close the public portion?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
We're all Irish tomorrow.
I'm wearing green.